I'm a fan of the star we are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Super Cowboy.
And I'm Princess Angie, and you are tuned in to The Star We Are.
Hi, this is Jane Slater, and you are listening to The Star We Are.
Plugged in and switched on. This is The Star We Are, live.
Yay! That was awesome. Good evening, guys. Happy Tuesday. It is finally pretty much week one of the season.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can just say we are all ecstatic. This is The Star We Are. I'm Slammin' Sammy.
I'm Landry's Legend.
It is your man Jimmy J's here, and like Slim and Sammy said, happy Tuesday. We're so excited to be week one is up on us. Cannot wait. Got this matchup going. We're about to talk some matchup. We're back to talk some stuff. I'm going to give you a little bit of the rundown. So we'll just be chatting a little bit. We'll be talking some Cowboys football. We're going to talk what are the keys to this season. What is really going to put us over the top and get us to that next hump and get us to that NFC Conference Championship game. We're also going to be talking a little bit of Star Stat of the Week. We got a special one for you this week. Make sure you tune in for that. We're going to run a little halftime. Sammy's going to give us the news, of course. We'll run a little halftime, and then we'll bring in our guest. We got a very special guest with us this afternoon. You might know him, your guy Nick. Stay tuned. He's always got the goods for you. And then we'll talk a little bit of week one, of course. What's this game going to look like? And then to cap it all off, we'll give our predictions on all the awards that are available throughout the NFL this season. We got MVPs, different things like that. So we'll talk all that. And I'm locked and loaded. Sammy, how you feeling?
Probably the same. I'm excited. I don't know, I'm exhausted, so I'm so sorry. But I am freaking ecstatic for this season. I feel like a lot of people are not quite as enthusiastic about this season as I am, but I've said it before, I'll say it again, I feel it in my bones. Like, this is going to be a great season.
Let's see what Landry and I were out at that preseason game, and I think people are ready. It was about as packed as I've ever seen a preseason game. No lie.
That's good.
Absolutely.
I guess my input is just based off of Twitter and other socials, but
Sure.
Well, you were there.
There. Yeah.
You seen camp though. You seen it.
Oh yeah, it was lit.
Camp was hype. Hey, what's up, everybody in this space? Thank you guys for stopping by, shouting out to each other. That's Cowboys Content Nation, Creative Nation for you right there. Everybody showing love. So appreciate you guys stopping in. This episode is going to be a lot of fun. We've got to go ahead and give our last camp update. We've got to do it. It's unfortunate, but we have to do it. Training camp is so much fun. It's always the best time. Our boys were out in Oxnard having a blast, putting on a show. We were able to see, what these rookies look like. What's our team going to look like? Getting an idea. They come out to Frisco. They put on a show. CeeDee Lamb gets signed. It's an absolute blast. We miss it already, but there's always next season, right? But we're so ready for this season. But we do have a video for you, I believe, Landry. Do we have that queued up? We've got a little training camp highlights from this. I believe if we have that.
I don't have any highlights for camp, right?
I think so. Let me see. I'll try to find them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think we might have them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have our video already.
Yeah,
a recap video of camp.
Here we go.
My fault.
Hi guys, Slam and Sammy here from The Star We Are. And as you can see, we are here live at camp.
That was
Much-
fire.
How much
I'm
fun
not
did you
crying.
guys have?
I'm not crying.
James Slater chunking the deuce. Marshawn hanging out in the Omni, living up to what he said, coming and hanging out with us and getting Sam her autograph. Sam, where's your ball? I figured
My
you could see it in the
ball.
back. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can go grab it if you want, no problem.
No, the picture's there. And
It was so cool. It was so fun. It's a surreal dream. We were all hanging out there. Like we had Marshawn on the show, which anybody watching, just real quick, I'll throw it in there. Like, subscribe, follow, turn on your notifications. And while you're at it, go check out the interview with Marshawn Nealon. Sam and I had a blast. Landry was, happened to be absent that day, unfortunately, but it was so much fun. It was cool. Go check it out. But he was like, I'll sign the ball for Sam. She won the game we played. And so, as soon as practice was over, we looked on our DMs and it was Marshawn Neal, and he was like, "Hey, let's meet at the Omni." It was super cool, super fun. So yeah, I'm sad camp's over. It's always a unique, fun time. But when one thing dies, another thing is born. And when camp dies, the season is born, and we are ready for this baby. Who's ready with us? We got some more comments here. Let's take a look. What up, Vince? EJ, what up, homie? We got Cuts giving the shout out to everybody. Look, Cuts don't miss a person. Cuts is one of the coolest in Cowboys Nation. Shout out to you guy, Fred Jones, Cuts by Jones. If you don't have one, go get yourself a cut. You can see right here, Landry, if you'll throw me up on full screen for just a second so we can show the world. Sammy's got hers back there. You can see it. You can see this nice little piece right here. Jimmy J. Landry's got himself one. Oh yeah, the big cut. Oh, the big cut's tucked away behind the helmet up there for some reason. I've got it rolled to the back, keeping it nice and unique. We need to get it framed. So, but yeah, he does wonderful work. He's shout out to Cowboys Cave, who we also noticed was in here. Fred Jones is making an actual bottle opener, like a really cool wooden cut bottle opener that you can put in your Cowboys Cave. Pop your nice ice cold brews open, and with those proceeds, it helps toward the Cowboys Cave, I believe. Go check it out. Go follow. Go help with that cause. Shout out to those guys. They always do great work. Chuck says, "What's up, Cuts? What's up, Chuck? Thanks for being in here." So, that's it for camp updates. I think we're through there. Unfortunately, it's a farewell, is what the update is. Landry, any recap you got?
Oh no, the video said it all. The video said it all. Let's get to this week 1 action.
Yeah, well, we got some news, I believe we got maybe some Cowboys
A
updates
little
and some news from around the league. And so we've got our superstar Sammy, and she's going to give it to us.
Okay. Oops, jumping the gun. I'm a little excited here to give you guys this news. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the outside of the Cowboys news and end up with the Cowboys news, just to kind of leave us on a better note. First and foremost, something I know we have all heard about, Ricky Pearsall. Saturday, he went to an event and he was signing autographs. Well, after he left there, it was about 3:30, he went to San Francisco's Union Square and got in a scuffle with a 17-year-old boy who was trying to take his Rolex from him. At about 3:38 p.m., the fire department said that they received a call about shots being fired. Well, it ended up being that they kind of scuffled, kind of had an altercation. Both of them ended up getting shot during that. They got the call of multiple shots fired. They did say, though, that there was no indication that Ricky was shot because he was an NFL player. I mean, 17-year-old boy just wanted that Rolex. I don't have any injury updates on the 17-year-old boy, but I do know that him and Ricky were taken to the hospital, at the same time. And Pearsall was alert the whole time, able to tell officers what happened, but due to him being injured and probably in shock, they decided to wait until after he got out of the hospital to get a little bit of more information from him, hopefully some clearer details on it. He got very lucky. He got shot through the chest and it exited out his back, missing all vital organs. So with that being said, this is crazy. So Saturday, he got put into the hospital in serious but stable condition, which is always, good being in stable.
Stable is good.
Yes. As of Sunday morning, he got upgraded to fair condition, so fair that Sunday night he was able to be released. Monday, just kind of chilled, got his rest and relaxation in. And I have read Tuesday he was reported back in the weight room at the 49ers facility. Now I'm obviously he's probably not doing much, but just to go through all that in a weekend and to come back and already be ready to go, like that's
pretty
insane.
crazy. Very fortunate situation. It's crazy bullets can go through like that and don't cause any real damage, and he's already right back in practice and going to be playing it. So very very good blessing to hear. You hate to hear situations like that, but peace, love, and prayers to him and his family. Glad he got out of it safe. And yeah, that's a crazy one.
Yeah. Next topic. Got a couple more things off. Jamar Chase. So he is doing a holdout, still holding out. But he's been showing up to practice to avoid some fines, but his participation has been very limited. If he doesn't want to participate, he's not. I have read from multiple places that he wants to be the top paid receiver in the NFL. Now, I know every receiver wants that. I feel like Jamar playing with Jay Jettas, them both being the rock stars they are, I could see it. But I have heard that he wants at least one penny just to have that top spot more than Jay Jettas' massive $140 million contract. I didn't get the details on it, but Trent Williams, I was kind of excited to share him still holding out, maybe a little bit of lacking in the first week, but they ended up coming on I believe, 3-year, $85 million deal for him. So we are doomed with the Trent Williams for the season. Sorry, guys.
Right. Michael will give him all he's got. We'll see. We'll see how.
Yeah. So I'm going to do my short Cowboys updates and then a little bit of a longer one. So we have some updated jerseys. I hope I got all 10. It doesn't look like I wrote them all down, but these seem to be the important ones that will affect us. So Kalen Carson switched to number 21. So awesome to him for doing that. Ryan Flournoy is the number 80 now. Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook is what number?
20. Number 20.
Speaking of 20, show him, Sammy.
All right. So one of the amazing people on my Twitter had this made for me. So number 20, and it was, so I just want to say this was put in to be made before Dalvin Cook got 20. So this is for you, Tony Pollard. And on the back, I don't know if you can read it all.
You got it perfect.
This is me, guys. Like, I am as official could be, and I'm excited. So defensive line, Phil Hoskins got number 96. Carl Lawson switched to 55. I don't want to say this guy's name. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm probably going to butcher it. He's a corner. Amani, are you where I probably burned that? I'm so sorry. He is now number 27. Nick Vigil is 41. Princeton Fant, tight end, number 85. And Brevin Spanford, who, when I was reading these jersey changes, I was like, oh no, I didn't know he got cut. He just switched to number 89. So that's awesome. Jordan Lewis had a birthday this week. He is a couple months older than me. Hallelujah.
Happy birthday, Jay Lewis.
Yes, he turned 29 on August 31st. So yes, happy birthday to Jordan Lewis.
Birthday, Jay Lou.
Yeah, I hope 29 is awesome because that's what I'm creeping up to next.
Me too. In 2 years. I'm only 27.
Oh, there you go. Now this last one. So I've seen this on a couple different websites. One of the quotes I'm going to get is from a spokesperson that heard the information. Dak Prescott contract. Now this is something I have been curious about for a while. Haven't heard too much on where it's going. But from what I've read, so they know no matter what, Dak Prescott's contract is going to be chart topping. I mean, very well deserved. He deserves to get the money he wants. But so let me ask you guys a question. The holdup is that one wants maybe a 4-year deal, one wants a long-term deal. Who do you think wants what?
Ooh, so history says that Dak wants the short-term deal and the Joneses wanted a long-term deal. But I don't know. This time you let me know. Okay.
Yes. So I have actually read that Dak wants to start his career as a Cowboy and end his career as a Cowboy. He wants the long-term deal. Now, this is where it gets a little heartbreaking. Jerry Jones, I'm bitter. I'm very bitter. He says, absolutely loves Dak. He said he doesn't want someone who can just win a lot of games. He wants someone who can win Super Bowls or play in Super Bowls. So that's where we're kind of at. Dak
Is that a shot?
See, that's what I'm wondering. And I wonder if that has anything to do with Dak saying that he doesn't care what Jerry Jones has to say to the media anymore. Like it's whatever. But yeah, so from what I read, the Jerry Jones wants to do maybe a 2, 3, 4-year deal. Dak's like, nah, I want to be here. I want to stay here. And I love that from Dak. Once a Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Let's go.
Because I spent so much time digging into the Ricky Pearsall and giving you all those juicy details, I was so excited to share. That's all I have for this week. I do have a little bit more to say later on, but it'll be very short and very sweet.
Boom, boom. Sorry, I was a little muted there.
You can hear what you were saying. You just sounded far away. So
Yeah, we're good. All right. Look at this. Always showing up early.
Early
We
bird
got him already. We're gonna get him the link here just shortly. Should we go ahead and bring him in? Jerry says that no one he doesn't know how to evaluate. Nick's in the building. Bugsy. You know what? So actually, before we get into, should we go ahead and bring the guy in? I'd hate to make him wait a second longer.
We were going to wait till after the first main topic, but let's run a star stat of the week, and then we can get him in here.
Let's do it. We'll do that. We'll run the star stat of the week, and then we'll bring in our guests. So,
boom.
So guys, just in case you didn't know, every week we run a star stat of the week, and this week we are happy to announce that we did what? Tell him, Sammy. What did we do?
We got featured, shown video on WWE.
You heard it. Landry, roll that footage. We got a cool little clip here.
Shout out to Dallas Cowboys Dak, aka at Mr. Slinky, for letting us know we were on there. That was a very awesome thing to get on Twitter and see.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So, enough back patting. We just, sorry, we had to take a moment. We're proud of ourselves. We've been working hard this last year, been trying to build this thing. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in and being a part of it and supporting it at any point in time along the way. What we're going to do is I'm going to let Lindsay go ahead and preface it and then bring our guy in.
Well, I need to make sure we're all backstage and everything.
Okay, yeah. Let's get him set up here. Yeah.
Awesome is an understatement. Sorry, reading comments.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Roll that beautiful bean footage one more time, Landry.
What, SmackDown?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it one more time when we get it.
It's the big part, but I remember watching that, and Micah was getting all ready to run over him, and one of the coaches came up and looked like he was giving Micah a stern talk down, like, hey, you better be careful what you're doing before you do it.
Well, it's not the first time this year he's been playing around with Trey Diggs. He had him in the torture rack just a little bit earlier during camp.
Bugsy says, well, he might be better in the ring. Does he have mic skills? I don't know. We'll have to find out. So while we wait for our guy Nick to get in here, I guess we'll go ahead and give the halftime report, which basically, just like our sport, we like to take a nice little halftime. And so what we like to do during halftime is we like to remind everyone to fan responsibly. It's what we do. It's what we try to do. We try to fan responsibly. And the way you can fan responsibly today is by doing the freest thing you've done all day and hitting the like and subscribe and share button. Turn on your notifications so you can always know when we're going live, and you can always catch us and our special guests like the one we're fixing to have up next, which I'm so excited to bring in. And, that's all it takes. It's the freest thing you can do today and the most valuable thing you can do for us. Like, subscribe, turn on your noties. Follow the Star We Are on all your platforms. Thank you so much for your support. Your time is invaluable. So if you've spent it with us, we cannot say thank you enough. Now, with that being said, Landry, tell them who we got.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going, y'all?
Hey.
It's going.
Look,
That part.
I've just got to admire it. It's more beautiful every time I see it. It's just
A little
so
touch up
cool
today.
and so
A little
beautiful.
touch.
I just want to say it looks so much better blonde.
One day maybe. But that
We
day
almost
isn't
got
today.
there.
You're
It
so
was close.
Yeah.
It was definitely close, but not quite. But hey,
It was
something to shoot for later.
There we
it was
go.
for a great cause. And you know what? Since Sammy brought that up, I'm going to go ahead and just remind the people what you did that day. Is we were running a raffle that we're currently running that we're going to close off on week 3, and Nix was cool enough to jump in and sponsor some raffle entries and said, you know, if we hit so many, I'm going to dye my blonde platinum or dye my beard platinum blonde. And we almost got there, so close. We'll get them next time. But Nix, we're going to social you real quick, brother. And go ahead and tell the people where they can find you, what you're all about, what you do. Give them your business.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, man. Your guy Nick's at the bottom of the screen there. Your _guy_Nick's NIX. Follow me over there on Twitter. We do a lot of content that way, a lot of spaces and whatnot. We have some good people over there. Like you'll see these faces here. You'll hear their voices over there, right? You'll see faces in the spaces. You can catch me on Pick Six Sports as well on YouTube. We'll be cracking up this week. Week 1's upon us. Hit that sub button on that side with my guy, Professor O. Spoonie, Dom, so on and so forth. So, yeah, man, I mean, if it's Cowboys related somewhere between, I don't do Facebook too much. I don't know. I used to Cowboy and try to fan responsibly on Facebook, but it's kind of hard in their Facebook groups when it comes to that. But
It is.
YouTube, yeah, but YouTube, Twitter, Cowboys relatable stuff, you'll probably find me over there, man.
Sweet. Yeah. Didn't Instagram take all the Facebook stuff? Like anything you post Instagram, so then they link up at everything you. We don't really
can
use
do
Facebook,
that.
but I know it goes there when you post.
Yeah, you can do both. You can link the and threads too. Now I guess you can kind of link it all and post and everything. I don't know. Look, I'm old. That technology's over my head, man. Let me type some words and hit send. Sweet, I'm done here.
Boom.
What up, Cuts?
All right. Well, so let's go ahead and send this. Let's send this topic through. Let's get into some discussion. And what we're going to do is we were going to jump into. We've already planned on having this one done, but you are early or punctual like we like it. And so you're here with us on the first topic. And so we're just going to unlock the keys to this season. And what we like to do is we like to let guests go first and then ladies first, obviously. So Sammy will follow you up. And we're just going to, it's like she's shaking her head. Yes, you have to follow Nick's. We did that on purpose. We can't follow this guy. No, just kidding. But yeah, just so go ahead, Nick, and just kind of tell Cowboys Nation, because these are probably going to be some good ones. What are the keys to this season?
The key, the number one key.
There you go.
The biggest key for you.
The number one key for me is going to be pass protection, in my opinion. I think I'm a buyer in the offensive line becoming stronger with Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton, being, 2/5 of this offensive line rookies that you're going to lean off. But typically you can start better off as a run blocking guy than a pass pro guy. And then we got Steele coming back, who ultimately, when you talk about Terrence Steele, now 2 years removed from the injury, the thing for him was he was always a little bit better run blocker than he was, when it came to the pass. Not that he was terrible, but just where he was better at, where his bread was buttered, if you will. So for me, I think the number one key offensively, or maybe entirely for this offense or for this team, is the pass pro. Again, I think they're going to be able to block it better in the run game. But if you can't protect your quarterback in this league, it's very hard. It's a very long road. So for me, the number one, if I got to go number one key, it would be pass pro from a younger offensive line that we've had in a while.
Yeah. All right, you heard it. Pass protection is Nick's key.
Go ahead, Sam.
Okay. Well, you guys kind of caught me. I had all my notes ready, and then I can't find them. So I'm just going to go with my favorite. I don't know. I mean, I kind of have to go off of what he said about the O-line. I just hope that I hope Rico Dowdle is able to run and rush a lot. I hope that he is able to get a bunch of touchdowns and kind of fill my missing hole for Tony Pollard. I will never live that down, guys. I am so sorry. I also would like to see I'd like to see Zeke's all in the end zone. I hope he can keep powering through like he has before. I don't know. I feel like, yeah.
So the
sorry.
run offense.
Yeah, that's my thing. And of course, I want to see defense do good. I want to see us kind of have a pick six season like we did last year. Like, just the thrill of getting those pick sixes is one of the best things I've ever experienced.
The turnovers are nice.
It was amazing. Yeah.
So Sam's still under the impression that Tony Pollard's going to go over to Tennessee and light on fire, and that we're going to all be, crying and moping.
I have drafted him in every single one of my fantasy leagues for that reason.
Look, if they can block it up, he still has the ability to take it to the house. We just couldn't block it up well enough last year.
You're right.
So I was going to go with the O-line in general and kind of talk about how I had some faith in him, but Nick's took a better point in the pass pro being the concern and the thing that really would be a key to success. I'll go on the other side with the defensive line. I don't have a lot of reasons to believe in it. I just know they've got to be better specifically at stopping the run, specifically to make a deep run in the playoffs. Or the same, or I have just no reason to believe the exact same season won't unfold and in the same way.
Right.
For me, the key to this season is going to be Mike Zimmer in general, not necessarily the run defense, not necessarily his scheme, necessarily his schemes, not necessarily the run defense or the pass defense, but it as an entire package. Because we've seen an offense that, yes, they got down early. They still produced 30-something points. Defense just gave up 50. Talking about the Green Bay game. And you can call some of those garbage points, but you still scored them. We've seen throughout the season our offense, even without a run game, which I believe will get better with the offensive line that Nick was talking about. These rookies are strong. We don't know necessarily how, like you said, the pass protection is the one question mark, right? Like, it's got to be there or it can just annihilate your offense. If you can't pass protect, it just blows the whole game plan up. So, running the ball is important, and I believe we're strong enough to do that. But for me, Mike Zimmer and what he's going to bring, that to me, that was the missing piece last year. The defensive scheme and using our personnel and doing the right things and shifting according to the situation and the game plan to be successful defensively was just not there. We've seen it. Green Bay, it looked like they scored every time they had the ball. And so we can't get into that. And so for me, it's this defensive coordinator. I need him to bring it.
I was going to say, you're depressing me bringing that up again.
Well, somebody's got to say it.
I guess you're right.
That's the keys to the whole season. Okay, muted there. If that's the keys to the season, then a lot of those may be keys, but speak more specifically, we'll move on into week one. Why don't you take it, Coach?
Well, Kyle said he's got a theory on what Jerry meant when he said we're going all in this year. We want to hear it. You can go ahead and drop it in the comments there. We'll give it a peek, Colin. Appreciate you stopping by and giving your take. So we'll get right into Act 1. The season is upon us. We are going to play football game in a few days, guys. The anxiety is high. I know I usually around this time get my nerves worked up and go nuts, which, speaking of which, you can catch me at 10 a.m. in the morning on AM Mayhem, where your guy is going to let loose. And, we're gonna let go and let God, as they say, because Jimmy's about to tear some things up. So we're gonna talk about how guys shouldn't, be able to hold out 2 years on their contract. We're gonna talk about how third string quarterbacks shouldn't cost $5.5 million in fourth round draft picks. We're gonna talk about some things. Okay, we're gonna talk about some things. Anyway, that's tomorrow. Catch me and Jimmy at 10 a.m. But for right now, we're gonna talk about Act 1. And what is Act 1? That is them Cleveland Doo-Doos. Browns. That's the Brown Dog Pound gang over there, and we're gonna go over there into Cleveland, and like my man Mike Tax said, we're gonna go to that dump over there in Cleveland, and we're gonna cause some damage. And so I'm excited to, I guess. So what we'll do with Act 1 is we'll just toss it around and we'll go with maybe your favorite, but just pick one thing about the game like stand out. Maybe your favorite matchup that's gonna happen. Maybe what you think needs to be the biggest emphasis on the game. Just give your take on Act 1. Sammy, hit him.
Okay. Well, my exciting matchup, I think, is what everybody else's is Tyler Guyton and Myles Garrett. I am excited to see Tyler Guyton in full force action. I mean, just seeing him in training camp, or not training camp, open season, he's still big and massive. The one thing I'm worried about, not necessarily worried about, I still think we're going to win, is I think their defense is more of a threat than their offense, just because, as I said before, Deshaun don't want some. I don't think he's going to play as good as he had. I mean, as maybe I don't think he's going to play good. I think he's going to have a rough season like he did before, being out last season.
I don't think he is good.
Yeah, I tried to say I got my words jumbled.
I think Nick's is a better quarterback than Deshaun.
Hey, you need to get in that 200. How much? 200 million?
Yeah, you deserve a $250 million, Nick.
I mean, I ain't gonna turn it down. That's for certain.
Can you make it through 6 games? That's all he's played.
Ow.
I mean, by hook or by crook, I went for that amount of money.
Right, you found a way.
All right, well, here's my.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's fine. Just wrap it up.
Yeah.
It's fine. Let's go.
Give me the shot. Hurry up.
I'll say that what my reservation is, it's hard to really get the ball rolling with what I expect out of the next week until I see the first week here. And it's the defensive coordinator when you're talking about a new scheme and an entirely new linebacker crew. I've got to see it come together. So I've got reservations on that one.
Yeah. And Nick, I'm going to steal this one and leave you the last little meat on the bone. You can take it last.
Sure.
And I'll kind of piggyback off what you brought up in the first segment, the offensive line. I think I'm most excited in Act 1, Tyler Guyton versus, Myles Garrett. Now, we were on a show yesterday with a Cleveland podcaster. I believe you can catch it on Spotify this Friday. It'll be out. We'll put out the link to that. We'll drop it when it comes out. But we were on a radio podcast with him, and he was saying that they're probably going to move Myles around. He's not just going to be lined up on Tyler. They'll throw him in the middle. They'll throw him on the other side, and it makes sense. We've even seen him do his little dance where he comes up and he does his little shimmy shake, and he likes to act a fool. So they're going to move him around. He's going to try to wreak havoc, and against a couple rookies, he just might. However, what I like about what Landry just said when you talk about Zimmer is Zimmer knows. He can kind of see when Myles is in a certain spot and start giving heads up clues to McCarthy and stuff. So I think as the game goes on, and Sam's right, the defense is more scary than their offense because I don't trust Deshaun don't want some like she gave it. I love that name. Deshaun don't want some. And she's right. He doesn't want any. Our quarterback's way better than that guy. At least at this point in their career, maybe at one vague, faint, distant year, Deshaun Watson was a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Ain't the case today because last year he wasn't even as good as Joe Flacco. So we're not going to go on that debate. But so the offensive line matchup, you got to see it. Maybe Zimmer can give McCarthy some clues on what they're going to try to bring and get these guys ready. But if you see a fault out of Cooper and you see a fault out of Guyton and they don't play solid games this week, you'll see that Browns defense start to get away with some stuff and kind of handle us. And then they can just try to tote the rock and keep the clock and then they come out with the dub. So for me, this offensive line, Act 1's got to show up.
This is a good task for rookies.
Yeah, I think, another thing this underlying thing is kind of interesting that's been brought up a ton yet is, Stefanski was on Zimmer's, roster before, right, as a coach. So they're pretty familiar with each other going into this thing. He knows what Stefanski wants to do. Obviously, working under him and being on the coaching staff for Zimmer, he knows how Zimmer operates and what he wants to do. So there's some of the cat and mouse or the chess game, if you will, between those two. But I mean, look, the Cowboys, and Landry, you were talking about this a little bit earlier. Whenever Deshaun Watson was upright with Ford, he averaged over 4 yards per carry last year. And of course, their offensive line got beat up a little bit. Now, I know the left tackle, their left tackle may not be able to start for them this Sunday. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But Ford, man, you got to stop Ford and force them to throw the ball and see where this thing is. And that'll be the test for the defense. And offensively, at the end of the day, can we pass pro well enough? I'll go back to my number one key to success. I think we'll be able to run the ball sufficiently enough. Can you pass pro when you have to be able to protect Dak Prescott to get some throws on a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7? Can you keep Garrett and the crew off of Dak long enough for him to get it done? Because, again, Lamb's going to be on a pitch count, right? So
Yeah.
we don't know full tilt how many steps that looks like for him and what's going on. So, Tober, you're going to step up now. You got a phenomenal camp. You're coming into year 3. I always talk about rookies. Year 3 is really where you see evolutionary process for them. Also, in Ferg, those guys are going to kind of get it done with Lamb on a step count. But if you can't keep Garrett and company off of that, tough sledding there for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. It'd be nice, if you could end up with a scenario where, because like Landry has got me convinced that from Zach Martin to the left tackle, this young offensive line from Zach Martin over, in another year or 2 from now is going to be like 4 of the best 5 offensive linemen that you can have on an offensive line in one unit. And,
Zach Martin's retiring after this year, so
you think after this one it's over?
I'd be a little surprised if he comes back. Yeah,
I think he's got the age to play 3 more, but he may not.
He can play, but even the year before he got the extension of the holdout, and whenever you start saying things like this at camp, my wife's ready for me to come home. I secured an extra little bag here. I give you 2 more years because he's not under. He's under contract next year. Let's be clear, he's not.
Right.
So yeah, I think this might be, and this is where the TJ Basses of the world obviously get a Cooper. And that's way too far down last week when they tried to rain on the parade. But I'm just saying, yeah, Martin, I'm a little worried on Martin for the long
then
term.
Let me try to fast track that process, and maybe by week 9 they'll
there
be
you
the
go.
best for offensive linemen because these rookies do look solid. They are strong, and my point was going to be, it would be nice to just be able to say, look, we're going to be able to run this rock on Cleveland, and maybe not even have to let that pass rush get off. Run the ball at Myles Garrett and things like that. Maybe we've got the strength, even though they're rookies. Sometimes all you got to be is big and strong to run block. So maybe we can pull it off. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and so for me, no Nick Chubb in the end. No Nick Chubb. Our quarterback's better than Deshaun Watson, and we've given our opinion probably 3 times this week. I'm going to just stick with mine, and we'll run it around and move on. 31-17 Dallas.
I think it's a little bit tight, a little bit lower scoring. I got 24-13 Dallas is where I'm at. I got a 24-13 Dallas.
Both defenses are solid. I could see, I see what you're saying. It being kind of the same differential, but a little lower scoring.
Yeah, same difference, just a little. I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think we'll be looking at something. It's in the 4th quarter, right? Maybe they score to make it 17-13, then the Cowboys have to get a touchdown to kind of put it away, right? That's kind of where I see it at.
Yeah. Sam, did you have a prediction you wanted to
so I'm pretty sure, I agree with the low scoring game, I think it's going to be a little closer than we want it to be. I'm pretty sure I said 24-17 last time. I'm going 24-19.
24-19, okay. Yeah, and I was at 34-24, but I've got Brandon Aubrey kicking 3 field goals, one of them being 60 plus. So I've got a 33-24, and I actually think we handle the game.
Coach, let's get that. Coach, no, don't worry about that 60. Get that 70. Go ahead and book him down for that 70.
Can we do 70 in Cleveland? What kind of stadium? What
that's
conditions are we looking at?
I think Coach is thinking the 60 is a precursor to the fact that 70 is coming. We've decided 3 attempts. He gets 3 chances or more to break the record. One of them's going in.
Yeah.
Didn't you say like 70.12 or something because of the baby?
71.12 yards because of the weight of his baby, which was the 7.12.
There we go. Yeah, let's work the juju. I like it.
Yes, but he can't do it in Cleveland because he has to wait until maybe we're in the building this season. He can't do it until I get to go to a game, and then he can do it. So
okay,
71.12. What is that? Grams? Is that metrics?
No, 7.1.
He was 7. The baby was 7 pounds 12 ounces.
Yeah, you didn't get it on the news last week from Sammy. You got to go back and watch the news.
Gosh, Landry.
All right, we got some chat going on here. Falcon said is curious if Dak and CD have some rust to shake off. You never know. Dak's not going to have any rust to shake off, but maybe if their connection isn't there, it's going to be interesting to see. So.
Dak said that he needed 1, maybe 2 practices to get back on board, and Lamb also taught they did a ton of work out at Dak Yard, if you will. But again, for me, it ain't the connection I'm so much worried about. It's just his legs, your NFL legs, if you will, for missing camp is where I'm at when it comes to CeeDee Lamb. Is the NFL legs in smartly? They're talking about putting him on a pitch count. So
I was going to say that's the pitch count you're talking about, and they'll manage that in the first week.
Yeah, I think we're gonna because. It would be smart, as I just mentioned, to not let Myles Garrett tee off all game. So it's going to be smart to try to run this ball. Right. Let's do that. So, yeah. And I don't think, I mentioned yesterday, I don't think McCarthy's going to leave as interested as we all are in the Tyler Guyton Myles Garrett matchup, McCarthy's not going to leave him on Myles Garrett Island too much.
Right.
He's not going to let that happen. So, but
yeah, good chance to see a lot of 12 personnel for sure. And
yes.
2 tight end sets.
Yeah. Yeah, let's run that rock for sure. All right, so good. So we got Act 1 wrapped up. Everybody got their predictions in. It sounds like everybody's a little unanimously biased. Cowboys are going to just smash them. I love it. Let's go. We're 17-0 already. Woo!
Hey, we're 17-0. I say this every year. We're 17-0 until we're not.
Until we're not. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Well, we're going to be able to live on that for at least 2 weeks. I'm confident saying at least 2 weeks.
I like that.
And then we got a real test coming up. But Chuck going to throw in the Die Eagles Die. We'll go ahead and represent that because, that's just
why not?
Kind of what we do. Why not? I think Eagles, and we don't YouTube. We don't mean die. It's a parody on Fly Eagles Fly. We don't want anyone to die. We just that's not a legitimate. We don't. We didn't.
The die stands for their season to die. No, not any humans or Eagles are harmed in this message.
So
let's do some superlatives.
Let's do that. You answer this one, Landry. Do you think Eagles going to beat Green Bay? Chuck said.
They played Green Bay week 1 because I don't even consider myself worried about them until we played something. They played. Is that who they played?
They're playing down there in Brazil and all that weird nonsense going on.
Oh, that's right. Jane says she's down there at the Green Bay for Philadelphia game. No.
She's fine. As long as she doesn't wear green, she'll be fine. Apparently, that's what we've learned about being down there. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. I'm not trying to go out on a tangent here. But again, I just talk about the NFL as a multi-billion-dollar organization, how the most poorly ran professional sports league, period. They are so bad. We'd do a game in Brazil. Oh, green is really bad game culture and everything else. So let's run not 1 but 2 green teams down there week 1. Like, what are we?
Look, you got Ricky Pearsall getting shot in downtown San Fran. You gonna send guys to Brazil? Come on. I'm just.
Tough sledding. I
have
no idea. I have no idea because the game's in Brazil. I don't know what to expect in what that game's going to look like, though.
Yeah. Coles, what's up? Thanks for being in here. Cole says we're the underdogs this week. Yeah, I think they got us at 2.5 points, which usually home team gets 3, so that kind of makes us a half point better in my eyes as far as the Vegas odds go. But yeah, we're the underdogs. That's all right. We'll take it. Jane said when she was on the show, since Landry brought her up, sometimes it's when we think these Cowboys are underdogs and we don't really expect the world out of them is when they kind of show us a little more than we expected. So maybe that'll hold true this season.
I'm going to need them to show it to me when I expect it, like last season.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so we got the update from Colin here, and then we'll get into this last topic. We all thought that he was saying we're going out and get paid people, right? My theory is we're going all in. He really meant I put all in what I'm going to. Okay, yeah, he meant he was all in right then. He meant I've already gone all in. Okay, that's a good take, Colin. Care less about the Eagles, and one more time.
I'm with Cole. My sentiments entirely.
Yep, agreed.
All right, running into these superlatives here. I'm going to pull up these first 5 that we got to get into here.
So good thing I don't think there will be any Eagles on this list. Yes, Nix, we didn't want to send you the topics early. We figured we would surprise you with the last one so that we would get a little fun going here. As everybody agreed,
I'm going to start taking notes.
Couldn't care less about these Eagles, so I'm sure none of them make any of these lists. And if they do, you're either not a guest on this show anymore or fired from the Star We Are, one or the other. So
cold-blooded.
Jake and Joe would be a factor in Cleveland. No, I don't. I think DeMarvin Overshown's fast enough to keep up with him, and we got Wanya and Dono, so I'm not too scared.
I mean, you saw they had Maurice Leaf out over Overshown on the depth chart today.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen,
so something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, with Kendricks knowing Zimmer's playing and Lou Fowl being really kind of a Kendricks type player, it wouldn't be a shocker if he learns the system a little faster and really does what Zimmer wants, like to the T. So that's good to know. We got a linebacker crew, y'all. We felt lacking of one of those last year. Anyway.
All right, check it out. Let's do this around the horn. We'll start with Nix, and then we'll just run them down to you, over to Sam, kind of as it's pictured, and we'll run through these.
Okay. And so what we'll do, guys, is we'll go from the bottom up. So we'll go from there, and we'll just go one title at a time. All 4 people give their player, and then we'll move up the list to the next one. So Nick, start us off. Your defensive rookie of the year.
Defensive rookie, and this is NFL, not Cowboys. Is this Cowboys specific or NFL?
No, this NFL awards.
Yeah, we're looking for the NFL honors. Yeah, preseason NFL honors.
Gotcha. Defensive rookie of the year. Well, I don't want to get fired here.
Uh-oh. What do you mean to put you on the spot, buddy?
I don't want to get fired here, but
he's looking at one of the 2 cornerbacks.
I think Quinyon Mitchell's a baller, though, man.
I almost went that way.
Yeah.
Where's the remove from stage button? Let me see.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Quinyon Mitchell's a baller, man. And the thing is, too, right, you got to get reps and have opportunities. He's going to get reps and opportunities over there for sure. Look, I like
he was on my short list.
Yeah, I mean, I like Latu as an edge guy and whatnot, but I don't. Defensive tackle to me is not going to come in here and bust up the board and become that. So you're kind of going to be a process of elimination, right? So defensive tackle's not going to do it. I don't see Latu's an edge rusher guy that I like, but I don't think there's an edge rush I think is going to have the boom or bust. There's some linebackers for sure in there, but boy, I think about space and opportunity. I'm going Mitchell. I'm gonna go Mitchell. Hey, I'm sorry. He's not officially an Eagle yet, right? He hasn't taken a snap yet, you know. I mean, but
I'm pretty sure he's under contract.
Yeah, damn it, that's true. But I'm going Mitchell.
Speaking of the defensive rookie edge rushers, you know, because you kind of said those Falcons said he's got Nealon because he's a homer. That's fair. We all got. So I thought about Nealon.
Sure.
Know, of course, I'd love to. Boy, listen, if he gets
some money on that, you'd win some money.
Well, and if he actually wins that title, then our defense is going to end up top 3. If Marshawn Nealon wins defensive rookie of the year, our defense is top 3. You can bookmark that. But not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it will mean that. Anyway, I had, speaking of edge rushers, I had Jared Verse almost won the thing for me, but I had to put him second to a George Teague guy, a guy out of Bama, just like our guy Teague and Terrion Arnold, right? And I think he goes to a defense in Detroit that needed that corner. I think when you talk about getting reps and getting playing time, he's going to play. He's going to play. he's going to play just about every defensive snap they run this season. You know, he's going to be on the field, so he's going to have his opportunities. I can see him playing discipline and getting 4 or 5 picks. You know, 3 to 5 picks, and as a rookie, that's going to stand out. So yeah, after looking at it long and hard, I've got Mr. Terrion Arnold over there at the Detroit Lions as my defensive rookie of the year.
Cool.
Same.
So, kind of embarrassed here. You guys know I am obviously not the best at football. I was not ready for defensive rookie of the year. I am gonna be honest here.
Take Maurice Leofau. Just take Maurice Leofau. It's fine.
Well, I was gonna say that Latu guy. I don't know much, but that was just who I was gonna go with. I can't give all the details like you guys did. You guys are way more in depth with this than I am, but that's who I'm gonna go with.
Well, I'll talk about Latu. Look, I'll talk about Latu for you real quick if that's okay. Look, he came into this thing, and I love Latu's game. This the injury concerns for him, but he's a more polished pass rusher than you've seen come in. I mean, he's a certifiable he's not a 1 or 2 move guy. He has 5 different moves of things, spins, jabs, different things that he can get to the quarterback. It's just the health. Can he stay healthy? But that's not. If he's able to stay healthy, he's got a bag. His tools and his bag is deep. So it will be interesting to watch him. That's the only other guy for me out of Mitchell that was like, lots of, but I just don't know if I can trust the health or not.
Yeah.
I'm right.
And that, if, you know, for me, if he stays healthy, kind of looking at that, I just don't know if that team gets to tee off on the passer as much as they would like to this season. And so, you know, I just don't know if the numbers will be there. I believe he's going to play. He's going to have pressures, but yeah, health but that's a good pick. And listen, Sam, one of us has to be the fan all the time. We can't all talk football.
I can definitely do that. 25-8. I'm learning. I've learned a lot more than I have ever. But
hey, look, you said Latu, and look, you're in the club. You said Latu. That's a great pick.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I was the first name that popped into my head was Chop Robinson until I delved a little deeper and saw nothing but a terrible preseason from him. So right at the last second, I kind of reversed course, and I actually am going to go with a defensive tackle. It's highly unlikely. I'm going to go with Byron Murphy II based off an absurd number of tackles for losses. And he's not going to have 10 sacks as a rookie from the DT position.
Right.
I just think he's going to have a huge impact on their defense and get enough visibility. So it's one of my little long shot picks.
If you're picking a defensive tackle, that would be the name I pick too. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
If you're going to hit your wagon to the D tackle, he would be the one.
So I actually looked up the top 5 runners of each. I already had my opinion. I already know who I had picked. But they have Murphy II and Murphy Jr. Are they brothers? Is that
one's a corner? Yeah, they're different, totally different players.
So 2 different people with the really close names. That's crazy. Okay, that's curious.
I think Murphy's pretty common.
Well, the same first name and then a junior and then a second. I was just like, that's crazy.
Yeah, Landry, you're on a good one there. Byron Murphy, a lot of Cowboys content creators we were on out there really were hoping that we would snag him up, knowing Knicks, I think you would have been okay with drafting him with the need for defense.
If we debate him too long, we'll run shy on time. So I want to run him around Knicks. Offensive, the more exciting offensive player of the year for most.
Rookie or player of the year?
Rookie.
Oh, sorry, we're on rookie of the year.
Kenyon Coleman.
Ooh,
Perfect segue to Jimmy, who I know is picking Kenyon Coleman.
So
Coleman.
Yeah. So
although they're going to give it to a quarterback, I'm sure, but I'm still sticking with Kenyon Coleman.
Well, you dang near stole my entire answer because I believe Caleb Williams is get it. Because like you said, they're going to give it to a quarterback. He's going to play. He's going to have yards, and all he has to do is throw more than 12 touchdowns and 3,200 yards to be the best rookie quarterback the Cowboys have ever seen. They're going to give it to him. That's going to happen. He's getting those numbers. I'll bet on it right now. But so I had to go with somebody different, and I went with Kenyon Coleman. And because I even said Landry can attest for it.
A long time ago.
Coleman is going to be way up on the list in fantasy football receivers to the tier of maybe even number 1 because Josh Allen lost weapons over there, and I think early and often he's going to find Kenyon Coleman is a guy to target, and so I think
as soon as he got drafted, you said that. Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's got to have somebody. He's got to throw it to somebody. It's going to be Kenyon. And Kenyon was a weird. I know we got to get through this. I'll be brief. Sorry.
You got it.
But I think here's the thing when it came to Kenyon. He was one of those guys. Sometimes you see this thing happen. You get through the season, all these guys, and then all of a sudden, certain guys kind of tumble down in the draft process, and you're like, well, let me go back to the tape. And I go back to the tape, I'm like, I'm hearing Jeff Endless say certain things, but I'm like, that's not where the tape's at on him. So for me, the tape never lies. And I tell you, Worthy's not a bad pick either. He's going to get great opportunities. But again, I just went back to the tape. I thought he was really good. So, in going with them and understanding how Josh will get you the ball and when he brings to the table. Yeah, I think Kenyon Coleman is definitely a guy that's going to be pay dividends even in fantasy football, like you said.
He's going to get them targets. Trust me, he's going to get targeted. I have a feeling. Sam, what you got?
Okay, so I'm kind of mixed emotions, and you guys are probably not going to expect this. I feel like everybody's going to pick Caleb Williams. I mean, of course, that's the biggest one. But my 2, someone said it in the comments, I was kind of rooting for Marvin Harrison Jr. I know he said that the quarterback isn't tall enough to get him the ball, but if he is as good as an Oberoi, he'll get that ball. He'll get those connections. He'll do it. So it's either him or my second. And this one, way off, so don't question it. I just have a good gut feeling about Bo Nix. That team is still a rebuilder, and I don't know. Watching them in preseason, it was kind of shocking to me what he was capable of, considering what I thought he was going to be capable of. I called him Bo Callahan, and it's kind of running back on me a little bit. Yeah.
Shout out to my third cousin.
Well, somebody in the chat got me, and I'm surprised Sam didn't. But mine is going to be Xavier Worthy. And a lot of it hinges on a couple of my choices for the rest of these awards. So I'll leave it there.
Yeah, Worthy's going to be right up there. They want him to be Tyreek Hill, and he has a bag with him as well too. So yeah, Worthy's going to get his opportunities as well, no doubt.
And Andy Reid is smart enough. He's small. That's a good point, Sam, because that's just what I was going to say. I think Andy Reid's smart enough to put him in position to not get hit over the middle, because that's the one thing you can't do with him. He's a little undersized for now. He's going to need a half a season to put on a little more weight, get the weight room. But that's a great pick.
All right, next defensive player of the year.
Dude, man, I'm homerism, so I'm going Micah Parsons. He's finally getting moved around as the chess piece. That way he can be a game wrecker for multiple sides and levels. I think maturity-wise, it's landing for him now. You hear how he's speaking and where things are moving. Zimmer is – this is no disrespect to Dan Quinn, but what Zimmer likes to do defensively to where Micah is right now, I think that's a perfect match. I think it's a good marriage, and Micah's already been close. I think Zimmer's the key that unlocks it. He gets over the hump, and he's Defensive Player of the Year.
Y'all can skip me when it gets to me because I wrote that speech for Knicks.
Oh man, appreciate
Verbatim.
that.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
the Cash App's already sent. Don't worry about
it. It was beautifully written. It was beautifully written.
Yeah.
Go.
So Falcon said Micah was finally going to get the DPOY after 3 years. Yeah.
Look, are we going to be in consensus? What you got?
No, so we are not. I
What?
almost went in consensus for Detroit. To
Go ahead
have
and fire
both,
him now.
to go, yeah, to have
Yeah.
both players. I almost beautiful, brilliant. That's how you get yourself demoted, guys. Okay,
Woo!
great.
you show anybody else some love, and this is what happens. I'm out of here. No, okay. Yeah, I almost gave it to Aiden Hutchinson. He played nasty and fearsome last year, and I really feel like he's going to have a splash this year. And so I have a feeling Terrion Arnold. And if I'm right about this, well, y'all going to remember, start listening to Jimmy. Terrion Arnold, Aiden Hutchinson might win both defensive awards. But I ended up going with Sauce Gardner. And I went with Sauce Gardner because I feel like a healthy Aaron Rodgers gives him the ability to actually end up with some interceptions and some PBUs because they're not going to be playing from behind all the time. If Aaron Rodgers can give that team some leads, Sauce Gardner is going to have some opportunities. And we all know how locked down he is. So I think with a few picks and him looking, I think he's going to look like a Darrelle Revis, like a Revis Island type player this year with some interceptions to go with it this year because they're going to play with some leads and teams are going to be forced to throw. So I kind of put together Sauce Gardner for this one. DPOY.
That kind of shocked me, but I kind of like it. Like, I don't know. That's not my choice, but I kind of like that. I'm going to have to stick with a lot of what Nick said. Michael Parsons is speaking it into existence. I mean, this is his time. This is his year. He should have got it last year, but he didn't. So, and I think the maturity thing is a good point. Like, I don't know. He means business. And I think as I just said, he's going to speak it into existence. This is his year. And as a Cowboys fan, I'm allowed to say that.
And you know what? And if Zimmer moves him around and he ends up with 4 or 5 tackles for loss, 11 sacks, 2 interceptions, like if Zimmer puts him in a position to just make plays this season, it could definitely happen. And I'm hoping that you guys are right.
And that's where I think it's coming from. The total tackles will be up. The interceptions finally going to come this year, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons over 1 interception.
Yeah. No more just fumble recoveries for touchdowns. He might get him a pick 6 this year.
Hopefully, it's happened before.
And that's how you win it. All right, next, offensive player of the year.
Oh man, it's the alien out there in Kansas City. It's Patrick Mahomes, man. They got more weapons around him now. I think it means something going for this 3-peat. Yeah, man. I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna light this thing up.
Well, I chose Robin to Knicks' Batman. I went with Travis Kelce on this one because I think Xavier Worthy opens up the top. Marquise Brown, fully healthy, opens up the top. You're going to see a lot softer underneath zones. Travis Kelce is going to catch a lot of balls this year. He's going to have a ton of yards. I've got Kelce with OPOY.
Ooh. Man, I don't know. So someone in the comments said Burrow if healthy. I'm not going to go with Burrow. I think if Jamar gets paid the way he wants, that's who I'm going to pick. I think that'll give him all the motivation he needs to be somebody. And if he really wants to be paid as the top receiver in the league, he has to be the top receiver in the league. So if he gets that money, he needs to show his worth. So taking it out on a limb, and that's who I'm going with.
They're going to go back to that Super Bowl run connection, huh?
Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't want them to make it that far.
I guess another bit of this is probably a real long shot. And this one just popped right into my head. I guess I'm kind of buying into a lot of people's thoughts about Atlanta's improvement. Bijan Robinson just touches all over the board. I mean, it's only his second year, but in terms of just straight offensive production and those yards from scrimmage, yeah, I'm going to take that.
Well, and he's going to touch all over the ball. No diddy, a lot. He's going to be a big part of that offense. I didn't say that. Y'all didn't hear me say that.
I'm dead.
So we're gonna roll right into MVP. I'm gonna steal this one first. No, I'm not. I'm gonna let you go next.
I think he gets both. I think he's going to get
You're
MVP,
gonna get
and
both.
I think he's getting both. Last time he had the speed that he's going to have this year outside, it was different, and now he's more mature and everything else within that with the speed now. Yeah, I think I'm of the mindset. Let me put it this way: I think Mahomes is going to break records this year. That's where I'm lining up right now after last year. I really do. I think it's scary hours in Kansas City. Now, granted, Hollywood's got to get healthy, after what happened to him with the collarbone and whatnot. But the amount of speed they have, what they're going to be able to do, yeah, man. I think Mahomes. This could be Mahomes' greatest regular season, in my opinion,
I can't.
since he's been in the league.
I can't run away from it. Y'all almost really did. I almost really resigned and sent in my immediate 2-second notice by putting Saquon Barkley on this list. He made number 2. He really did. He made number 2 on my list, but I went with Patrick Mahomes.
What? Saquon?
No, y'all really believed me for a second though.
I
think I'm having heart palpitations all of a sudden. Jimmy Johnson's here. Holy cow!
Saquon Barkley for MVP. Get out of here. No, I didn't. No, I had nobody else on this list. Nix is right. He's an alien. I'm not sure what they're going to do about him. This guy's trying to three-peat. He's going to throw it all over the yard. He's got 2 guys that run as fast as Usain Bolt. I mean, it's ridiculous. Get it out of here.
Usain Bolt. So I'm just going to say you guys are probably realistic in your decision, but that's not always me. I was really impressed with CJ Stroud last year. I think he built off of a lot, and he's still Stephon Diggs, and Tank Dell being back, Nico Collins, all of them.
Joe Mixon, they got Joe Mixon back.
Oh yeah, they got Joe Mixon. Yeah, I'm going with CJ. I know it's a long shot, but I love that man. I mean, everything he's about. It sucks he's a Texan, but I love him, and that's what
he's got our resident favorite tight end over there, Dalton Schultz. Still, I think
favorite.
No, but
I
got a heck of a pick.
I had Pat Mahomes too, and I kind of saved it. Where Knicks went with him on Offensive Player of the Year. I looked at the NFL, thought they didn't typically do that. They kind of just would choose some other player to give it to for offensive. Otherwise, I might have done that. But yeah, Pat Mahomes, they'll stop short of the greatest season in his career. That second season, which was basically his rookie season with 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. But I don't know if he's doing that. But I got him in for MVP.
Well, Knicks is, it's scary to think, but if they're going to three-peat, it's going to take them looking and being unstoppable and being unable to read offensively, and it's going to take him blowing those stats out of the water, and it can happen. If Xavier Worthy stays healthy and ends up with, let's just say, 6 40, 50-plus yard touchdowns, just that statistically alone bolsters a season like you wouldn't believe.
New MVS.
I mean, he ends up with a 75% of a Tyreek Hill season from that 50 touchdown season, then we're talking insane. So
we basically have 3 to go. And as I always say, EJ Savage and Boys in the Zone at 7:30. So that's what we're going to roll into. Check it out, Knicks. Give them both to us at the same time, at AFC and NFC champs.
You have to. I know your career might be on the line, but you have to do it.
It's not really my bag. AC, so champs. So basically, just going to rip the Super Bowl beret.
Exactly.
Give me Chiefs. I think Chiefs going to get there, and I think we get. Yeah, let's just repeat it. Chiefs, Niners.
Okay, I got Chiefs.
The other pieces back. Chiefs, Niners.
I got Chiefs, Packers.
And you've been on record before on that one. Yep.
This is depressing to talk about. I'm gonna go with Chiefs too. I'm gonna go with Texans. Can I do that? Oh wait, I can't do Texans.
Well, no.
Sorry. I read my wrong one. I knew it as soon as I said that wasn't right. Lions. Sorry, I don't want them to go, but I don't know. I feel like they have a lot to make up for their mess ups last season.
Well, they'd make a lot of money on that Super Bowl.
For sure.
And as a matter of fact, the one they'll make even more money on is I've also got the Kansas City Chiefs, which is no surprise. We all had the Chiefs since we mostly had Pat Mahomes as the MVP and some of their rookies as Offensive Player of the Year. I looked up and down the list, and I still didn't see somebody who I definitively had to put above it so they can play in the most lucrative Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys.
I love
Well,
it. Love that, Landry.
That's
Because
just a little bit biased.
It is a little bit biased, and I haven't seen it yet. But you know as well as I do, the offense shouldn't go anywhere. And it was there last year. 12, 13, 14 weeks into last season, I legitimately, the most in 30 years, thought we could go win the Super Bowl.
Well,
we didn't show up in that game. But
no one did defensive scheme.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, going into that season, everything they did before we even kicked off one, I said, look, I expected the Cowboys to make the NFC Championship game last season. I did. And it was a gut punch for them to not even get out of the wild card round, obviously. But you look at it this year, and I think PFT has the Cowboys 19th in the league right now.
Horrible.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well then I make sure to save that because basically there's only 3 teams that we play this year that aren't technically better than us. But look, the Cowboys have been 12-5 3 straight years. It's just this simple. The majority of the team, the crux, the meat and potatoes of those teams have been 12-5. They're all still here. And I've had people in the space like, oh, they lost all these people. I'm sorry, we lost Tony Pollard, Sam. I'm sorry. But
thank you.
But okay, you lost Tony Pollard. I said, look, Tyron Smith basically played about 17 games in 3 years for us, and 13 more last year. Like we didn't Dorrance Armstrong, God bless him, he was second in the league, our second on our team in sacks 7.5, but he couldn't set the edges off the run for anything. So you had to move some of those pieces on. So like I just don't see these, and I ask people all the time, like, well, who are these game-changing, shifting players that they lost they couldn't replace? And like, oh my God, it's going to be so bad for the Cowboys now. There's no way they can go compete because they lost these people. And I'm like, they just don't exist. Yeah, sure, the Bland and the Sam Williams injury are terrible. It's horrible for that side. But you're getting Diggs back. You're getting the Overshones back. And the new scheme is what they're going to count on for this defense to be better against the run at the end of the day. But, yeah, I just find it hard-pressed to see that this team, barring a Ray Dakota Prescott injury that's extenuating, multiple weeks, that there's no way the floor for this team is 10 wins.
Right.
And if you win 12 games, you get the 2 or 3 seed, and you get another crack at a legitimate opportunity to make the championship game and do something. Yeah, it's as long a shot as it. Well, not as long a shot as it's ever been, but it's not. It's a homer pick, but it's not unrealistic.
I'm not far behind you guys because while I have Green Bay the NFC champs, I like for my team to have to prove to me certain things. I don't think we're going to see San Fran on the way there. So I've got us in the NFC Conference Championship against them. I do have us going further because of Zimmer than we have in a while. I just have Green Bay beating us because my team has to prove to me that they can beat a team. What have you done for me late?
All right, here you go, Nick.
Real quick. You know what we should have did? I'm just thinking that the Super Bowl's in New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
We should have picked Baltimore, San Francisco. Last time they were in New Orleans with the power outage and everything else.
Oh boy, the Colin Kaepernick Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis's retiring year. That was
all right. So you have Kansas City versus the San Francisco 49ers, and the winner,
Chiefs. The three-peat.
Repeat.
Or three-peat. The first team to three-peat. That puts the crown squarely on. He'll need that, right? Because that's what's going to come. We're getting into the era of, is he going to become the GOAT? Is he going to supplant Tom Brady? One of the ways, I don't know if he gets as many Super Bowls, but if you get the three-peat, that's a different feather in your cap that Brady didn't have, and that elevates, as we used to talk about early on in his career before we were, interacting. It's like after certain games and things happen, and the legend grows. When it came to Patrick Mahomes, if he gets that, the legend grows. So give Mahomes getting the three-peat. I like history the NFL to witnessing that.
If he makes this one and wins it, he will be on pace to not only play in as many, but win as more than if he only plays to the age of 37.
So we'll see.
He played to 45.
If you keep it rolling like this and you don't ever hit a period of 6 years, but anyways, what's your pick? You have the Kansas City Chiefs against.
Oh, everybody's got the Packers. I have the Packers.
And you have the Chiefs. You win.
No, everybody in the world has them three-peating.
Okay, I thought you said the Packers were winning. I was like, wait a minute. I'm gonna go Chiefs too. But real quick, real fast, I just want to say, Falcon, you are fired, banned, everybody knows who Tony
Oh,
Pollard
what was his
is.
comment? He said he was going to say something to get him out and get you fired up.
He said, "Who is Tony Pollard?" Like, you can't come in here and ask that. Tony Pollard is the peanut to my butter. Like,
You're playing with your life, Falcon. I can't protect you, sir.
Right.
Tell Samantha, the players walk out of the building, the star stays in it. We don't do that. We don't.
I'm sorry, but I
trying to
got
teach
my
you guys,
jersey
please.
20 because of Tony. I wouldn't know what number to pick. I
Well,
love him. I will love him
I
as
mean,
long as he's not a
Dalvin,
49
you have a
or
new number
equal.
20. Sammy, you have a new number 20 you can love. Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, practice squad. I'm just kidding. I know Dalvin. I know Dalvin's good. I know Dalvin's good.
Yikes.
But man, anyways, yeah, Chiefs 3-peat. Let's do this.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
and as far as now, this one, yeah, it's kind of an obvious for us because we played Trusted Bust a week or so ago, and trusted the Chiefs to go to a 3-peat. We were unanimous on that. Yeah. So that one's pretty simple, easy, and outro to another good show, guys.
yeah. So
That's fine,
yeah,
whatever
and
you
we'll go to big main screen here, Landry, if you'll take us there, and we'll give Nick's before we let him go and finally get out of here. We'll give him one last quick minute to just say his piece, say what you got to say. We usually make everybody do it, so we're gonna make you do it. You got to give us your oath. You got to say it on the Star Wars Live that we have Nick's is 110% on and mostly, and I mean mostly by all, off the field effort this year to bring home number 6. Do we got your promise?
I mean, come on. What are we here for?
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you ain't in it to win it, what are we talking about? You got to get up out of here, man. You got to be all in. I mean, come on, right? Unlike maybe what Jerry said in some of the things. But we around here, Cowboys Nation, are definitely all in, no matter what. I know there's a lot of the fan base out here with the I don't care about regular season. I'm just call me when the playoffs start. Well, you think they're going to the playoffs, son? That's funny. Man, you got to enjoy the ride, but you got to enjoy the ride at the end of the day, And it starts to Cleveland here at 3 o'clock or 3:25 Central Time, and be there, be loud, and represent because very quickly the season will be gone. You're like, oh, there's no football around. It's so cold winter. Enjoy it, man. You never know the season's going to go. Again, the team's going to win 10 games. They're going to get to the playoffs. Man, be a part of it because you just never know how this thing's going to play. You got to get there. I don't want to hang around the rim all the time. I do want to dunk it, but we're going to be around the rim in the postseason for sure.
Feels good.
Yeah, all right.
Daddle's the best running back we have to the comments. Rico Daddle.
Oh boy, here we go. We're gonna run this thing again and let you get out of here next. We want to appreciate you. Say thanks for stopping by, man. It's always a pleasure being around you, having you on. The voice, the look, it's iconic. If you don't know him, get to know him at your guy Nick's on Twitter, on TikTok.
Thank you, guys.
Pick six Sports 360,
Yes,
I
sir.
believe, or 306. Pick Six Sports.
Just type in Pick Six Sports, you'll find
Pick
it. You
Six
ain't got to worry
Sports,
about that
there you
other.
go, on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you ain't gotta, don't worry about the other. Pick Six Sports. You heard it there. Your guy Nick's. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all as always. Have a great night.
Yes, sir. All right. Super duper cool. Love having Nick's around. Love hearing what he's got to say. The voice is special to me. It used to help, and it still does to this day. Put me to sleep in the evenings. He's always with the late night X Spaces going. Say it again, Andrew, with your mic on.
With my mic on.
Yeah, that part. Like
Nick says. Like Cowboys ASMR.
That's what it is.
That's so funny. I love that.
And you never know. Look, he has some of the biggest spaces, some of the coolest spaces. You never know who's going to stop by. You have players' parents in there. You have players in there every now and then. You've got, Vach Lombardi. You've got all kinds of people stopping by. He's one of the favorites. We loved having him on. So with that being said, thanks everybody for stopping by. Yeah. It's been a great, last week we didn't have a show, but we were out at camp. We had a little live there. It's been really fun. It's been exciting leading up to the season. We're finally here. I'll say one more time, Wednesday, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Jimmy will be going crazy. AM Mayhem, stop by. I'll be taking on guests on that show soon. And next week, I believe we will be having, she told us that to highlight on Saints Week, we'll be having Miss Jane Slater back on with us next week for the leading up to the Saints game. So stick with us on that one. Sammy, anything anybody wants to say?
Let's go Cowboys. I don't know. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I kind of gotta go.
Yeah, she's done.
Okay. All right, she's there. Everybody say bye to Sammy. Parents too. Wait, bye. Bye, Sammy.
Bye, guys.
No, we get out of here. Everybody have a good evening.
All right. We'll see you guys. Remember, fan responsibly.